I have seen so many low-calorie peanut butter alternative recipes that are higher protein. I've always been a little bit skeptical because they're always made with one ingredient, and that is a can of beans. I've always been a bit afraid, like, is it gonna taste like a peanut butter alternative, or is it just gonna taste like peanut butter flavored hummus? But that skepticism ends today, because today we're gonna blend this can of beans and we are making some unnutted peanut butter. So you can save the nut for later. Don't hate me, but today we're not using the Ninja. We are using a Vitamix. The Ninja kind of acts like a food processor, and the Vitamix is better at just liquefying things. I don't want any chunks of beans in this, so we are not taking a risk. I'm using small white beans because I don't want to taste the bean flavor at all, and the flavor on these is much more mild than something like a chickpea. And also, I can't use black beans or pinto beans because that would throw off the color like crazy, so small white beans it is. Ooh. That is a lot of bean juice that I don't want, so I'm gonna drain this and rinse it under cold water to try to get rid of as much of that bean flavor as possible. I'm just drying the beans with the hairdryer because they're wet and I don't wanna add all that extra liquid and moisture and water into the hummus. Peanut butter, my bad. But these beans are really small and they look like they've been on TRT. The food scale says this entire can of beans weighs 262 grams, which is very different than what it says on the back of the label because a lot of bean juice was lost in the process of draining and rinsing. Since there are 3.5 servings in this entire can, divide 262 by 3.5, and that is 75 grams. We are gonna use 2 servings, which is gonna be 150 grams of TRT beans is going in, and one on my floor. Before I add any of the whey protein or PB2 to this, I think that it's best to just blend this and get it into a puree with some liquids to make sure that there are no bean chunks at all. So for some extra sweetness and also some maple flavor, because maple peanut butter is amazing, and I think this is gonna add to that roasted peanut butter flavor, which I love. I'm gonna go in with 45 grams of sugar-free maple syrup. We've unnutted the peanut and we're also gonna liquefy the cashew nut. 45 grams of this. The Ninja does not come with a toy, but the Vitamix does. I'm kind of nervous, I don't know why. This has been running for 2 minutes, so let's take a look. I still see some bean chunks. I think there's just not enough mixture in this blender for it to properly blend. So I think what we need to do is add 15 more grams of almond milk, cashew milk, the better almond milk. And I think we should add 15 more grams of sugar-free maple. I think this is just gonna help cut that bean flavor, but I also am kind of hesitant because I'm not a fan of really sweet peanut butters. I really like that peanutty taste, but I think in this case, we need to add 15 more grams. Adding a little bit more liquid helped so much. This thing is basically a liquid now. Maybe I should try this. Yeah, it doesn't taste very good. I can still kind of taste the beans. I mean, I definitely can taste the beans, but it's not terrible. Liquid and white. And instead of throwing all the powders in the blender and blending, I think that is a sticky mess in a blender that I do not want to be in. The 2 main powders are, of course, whey protein and PB2. I bought vanilla whey protein just for this because we can't use any other flavor unless you have a peanut butter flavored protein powder, but that is rare and hard to find. We got to use whey because I think whey gives it that stickiness, and casein would just make it super thick, but not give it that stickiness that peanut butter has. Look what this bag of whey protein says. No artificial growth hormones. So if you take HGH, you're natty, guys. How do I open this bag? Do I just... No. I'm gonna figure out how to open this whey protein, I'll be back. All I had to do was pull really hard and it opened up, but a fresh bag of protein powder, and I have absolutely no clue where the scooper is. So we're just gonna go 25 grams with a spoon. And we're also gonna go in with 25 grams of PB2, aka powdered peanut butter. For some extra thickness, I'm gonna go in with a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of Guar Gum. You can barely see it on the spoon. And a tiny amount of Xanthan gum, just because if you use Guar Gum, you gotta use Xanthan gum. It's like picking between your two favorite children. Actually, I like Xanthan gum more, so I guess Xanthan gum is my favorite child. And of course, a pinch of salt. Let's give all the powders a mix, so when we add the bean juice to this, it's already mixed up properly. This smells amazing, vanilla peanut butter flavor. The moment we have all been waiting for. Take all the bean juice, give it a mix. Go slow, this is gonna take some time. Get all those powders incorporated in those wet beans, because if we don't and we get any sort of bean taste in this, it's gonna throw it off. Never mind guys, just throw it all in your blender, because mixing that with a spoon is so hard. It takes so long to get all the chunks out and everything. So I just decided to get some help from my whisking stick. Unnutted peanut butter. That's pretty freaking good. I think it's best to refrigerate this, so I'm gonna put this in the fridge overnight, and I will see you tomorrow morning to try this out when it is nice and thick and settled and all the flavors have mingled together. It's gonna be put on my protein charcuterie board. If you haven't seen that video, it should be 2 videos ago. I'll leave the inspirations for this recipe in the description down below, but it was mainly inspired by Greg Doucette peanut butter, and then the key to fat loss is low calorie peanut butter. Both of them use beans. Both of them had me skeptical, but had to take my turn. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good morning, guys. No better way to start your day, but let's make a rice cake charcuterie board with the peanut butter. I'm gonna take 2 of these Magic Pop cakes. Each of these is 15 calories, game changer. And then I'm gonna take 3 of these regular rice cakes. Each of these is 20 or 22 calories. The moment I dreamt about, it is time to check on the peanut butter. Ooh. Glossy. Thick. The whole batch of peanut butter makes 320 grams, and there are 4 servings, so 80 grams each serving. Probably a little bit less because some stuff stuck to the blender. I missed some beans, but for the most part, close enough. And the whole batch is 409 calories and 44 grams of protein, which is pretty freaking solid, because if you compare this to regular peanut butter and you equate the calories, regular peanut butter for around 400 calories would have 20 grams of protein. This has 44, so that's more than double. Pretty solid. Also, let's say 1 serving of this is 5 tablespoons or 80 grams. I know it's a big serving, but I like big servings. 1 serving of this is 2 tablespoons or 32 grams. 180 calories, 100 calories. 8 grams of protein, 11 grams of protein. It literally has more protein than half the calories. That is a big win in my books. I saw some strawberry jam. And PB&J on a rice cake sounds like a combo that needs to happen today. I'm gonna give it a quick stir. I'm gonna weigh out 100 calories of this stuff, which is gonna be 80 grams, and spread it all over these rice cakes. Charcuterie board assembled. It's time to try this out. I'm gonna start with one of these, but look at that PB&J swirl with strawberry jam. Let's go. Please don't taste like beans. That's not bad. It doesn't really taste like beans, but I think I should have doubled the amount of powdered peanut butter that went in there, because I want a stronger peanut butter taste, but the consistency is pretty good. Doesn't really taste like beans. It's not overly sweet, which I really like. But I would say, If I made this recipe again, I would double the amount of PB2 that I put in, and I think that would make it way, way better. Strawberry, peanut butter, PB&J. Oh, this one's way better. This one's really good. Okay, strawberry and whatever spread, bean, peanut butter, hummus thing we made, it plays together so well. Since the peanut butter flavor isn't crazy, the jam just gives it that little extra sweetness and that little extra kick that you want. What should we call this? Unnutted peanut butter? But there's still nuts in it because we use PB2. But it's like unnutted because it's not as nutty as regular peanut butter. Or maybe Protein butter? Like protein peanut butter? Yeah, that's dumb. Whey nut? No. I don't know, you guys tell me. I wonder if it would taste better with a little bit of salt or a little bit of cinnamon. So I'm gonna put cinnamon on this side, and then I'm gonna put salt on the other side. Which side should we try first? Let's try salt first. Extra salted peanut butter. Makes no difference, just tastes more salty. Cinnamon peanut butter. That's pretty good. So, consensus. Since the peanut butter flavor isn't punching me in the face, you can add things like cinnamon, things like jam, and it really doesn't take away from it. If anything, it adds a new depth of flavor. But if this was regular peanut butter, I wouldn't want those stuff because I just want that peanut butter taste to give me a black eye. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like if you liked it, subscribe if you're new. Let me know your favorite spread down below. Is it peanut butter or is it something else? Is it Biscoff, Nutella? And I will see you in the next video.